Are you ready for the Super Brother? Are you ready for the Super Brother music for the soul? He's black and funny, dynamic, heritage, and funky. Music, music, music for the third world. Ladies and gentlemen, doing it on his good foot, Super Brother himself. He's got a bag of his own. Ladies and gentlemen, Soul Brother number one, James Brown.
That's where it's at. That's where it's at. Hot pants, smoking. Hot pants, smoking. Take it by the bone. Oh, much better time. My beat to keep going. Yeah, on my mind. Think losing that fucking feeling don't. You got to use what you got to get just what you want to. Hot pants. Smoking, hot pants, girl. Smoking, hot pants. I won't make you dance, slick as you are. You make the pants. Think of losing to that fucking feeling, don't. You got to use what you got to get just what you want. Hot pants, wow. Smoking, hot pants, smoking. Over there, with the hot pants on, she can do the get down all night long. You went over there, with the hot pants on, she can do the soul train all night long. You come back there, the fucking move, she can get down, she move the groove. Get it down, get on down, get on down. Ow! Get on down, get on down, get on. Come on! Come on! Get up! Get up! Stay on the scene like a sex machine. Get up! Get up! Stay on the scene like a sex machine. Get up, get up. Stay on the scene like a sex machine. Now let's get her going to the bridge. Get her going to the bridge. Get her going to the bridge. Take her on. I love a machine. All right. Stay on the scene like a rubber machine. Ow! The way I like it, that's the way it is. I got my nigga, I don't worry about his. Stay on the scene like a rubber machine. Ow! Let me go back. Can I go back? Can I go back? Can I hit it and quit? Hear me now.
Welcome. It's your boy Slide. Welcome to the channel. Tonight is the Saturday night special, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. Special shout out to the folks in the chat tonight. I have my admin. Hope she speaks up at some point. She's over here giggling. Shout out to Jenny Kerchevel. Shout out to Velvet Goss. If I can get a quick sound check, let me know how it sounds. Make sure everything sounds okay. If it's a little echoey, let me know that too. Let me make sure I can kill any background sound. Just 1 second. sure I do that before we go too deep. All right, now there's several things we're going to discuss tonight in the chat. We're going to discuss some of the news stories from the past week or so. One being the story about the 10-year-old boy who was charged last week for assault because of a dodgeball game. He was finally, I believe the charges were lifted, but we're going to talk about that story tonight. The second story we're going to talk about is the what I like to call the ugly baby situation. This is the young lady by the name of Quaylen Ann, who has 6 kids and picked out one of her twin sons to talk about as far as his looks. All right. Still want to try to kill this echo sound in the background. Some people say they hear it. All right. How about now? Hope that may be a little bit better. Just let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Okay. Some people say they hear it, some don't. We'll go ahead and continue. All right. The third story we're going to talk about tonight as well. We're going to talk about Tamika Thomas, the young lady in Texas City, Texas, who got kicked out of her local pool. This was about 2 weeks ago. She actually has an HOA she pays so that she can have access to all the facilities within her neighborhood. However, she was banned from the pool, they say, for bad behavior for some guys that were not with her or even related to her. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to have a little break. Rather than have music during the break, I'm going to have a little knowledge, little food for the soul. Then we're going to break into some of the other stories of the week. So I look forward to hearing your guys' opinion, and I will open up the phone line soon. I look forward to hearing you guys' voices and allowing you to voice your opinion. I believe we do have some people that again are new to the channel, and I believe one in particular wanted to discuss some issues that were brought up in a couple of my videos. So I hope that they call in as well and they know who they are. All right, let's go ahead and get started with the stories of the evening. All right, starting with the 10-year-old young man who, oh my gosh, when I see the pictures of this kid, it just breaks my heart. But let's go ahead and play the story.
These kids are basically playing a game that we all have played. But on April 29th, what seemed like a harmless game ended with one student getting seriously hurt. According to the boy's mother, who asked we not show her face, he has a rare medical condition, making head injuries especially dangerous. According to a police report, during that game, another student threw a ball at his face on purpose.
He sustained facial tissue damage to his face. He had a black eye and a bruised nose.
Records show the then 4th grader also suffered a concussion. His condition is something Kamishi Lindley says she and her son, Bryce, knew nothing about. Wednesday, Bryce was charged with aggravated assault.
I couldn't believe it.
This is on top of a 1-day suspension, which occurred right after the incident.
This is a kid that was playing on the playground with his friends.
I tried not to let it get to this point.
This mother claiming her son had been hurt before and that she reported it to the school.
My son was hit twice in the face with a ball previously due to this, and the child apologized to my son, and he said, "Mom, it's okay. We're still going to be friends."
I'm unaware of any of those situations. Sorry that her child got hurt. I'd be sorry for any child that got hurt.
Lindley just wishes problems like this could be solved in the classroom, not the court.
All right, now I think that's pretty sad, and I'm sorry I don't have the still pictures in the background, but it broke my heart when I was doing the research for this video to see the young man, to see that how he just looks broken and disheveled. Question to the chat: do you think that young man will ever be able to trust the police again after an incident like this? I mean, it's really, really sad what our boys have to go through, and now he's getting a taste at 10 years old what it's like to just go out and play a game. You know, kids tackle each other playing football. Kids kids get hit in the head with baseballs. Heck, I tripped up playing kickball. I tripped up on my own. Nobody tripped me up. I just was a clumsy kid. There was nobody to blame. Was my mom supposed to sue the coach? Are these the kids we're raising? And plus, according to the young lady whose kid was injured, and I don't want to see anybody's kid get hurt, but if you know that your kid has water on the brain or has some kind of pre-existing injury, don't have him out there playing contact sports. Go put a helmet on him, put him in slow class, and let him play with blocks. Don't put him out there with the kids who are healthy and out there playing like normal kids. If you already knew your kid was in that condition, keep him off the field. If that's insensitive, though, let me know. Oh, Jenny, the line isn't open just yet, but I will open the phone lines real soon, I promise. All right, I just want to check in with the chat real quick before I move on to the next subject. I do appreciate your opinions. And there's always a slight lag or delay from when I chat as opposed to my other videos, so there may be a slight delay, so I apologize for any lag. Now, the next video also bothers me. This was from a young lady by the name of Quayla Ann. Now, Quayla Ann thought that it'd be smart to post a video of her and her child together, the youngest of her twins, youngest of 6 kids. Thought that it was okay to call her baby ugly. Now, if you didn't see the whole video, I'm going to play it in its entirety for you guys tonight, and I'd like to hear your opinion on the quote-unquote ugly baby. Before I play that, Jenny says I'm just going to listen instead. No, I look forward to you calling in. Like I said, I'm going to open up the phone lines in just a moment before I go to the break, so just hang in there. I will have the number posted as well as the extension. I'll make sure that you're able to call in. Anybody who's new to the chat, welcome. This is Saturday Night Special, and we're talking about the news of the week. The next story I'm talking about is Quayla Ann and the quote-unquote ugly baby. Do you think it's just jokes? Do you think people took it too seriously? Or do you think this girl needs to clean up her act? Let's listen to her first, and I'll let you form your own opinion.
Look what the fuck I got. Look. He wrong. My biggest fear was having an ugly baby. Now look. Look what the fuck I got. Look. He wrong. My biggest fear was having an ugly baby. Now look. Look what the fuck I got. Look at him. He is so funny looking. He got all this hair though. My little girl, she bald head. But his funny looking self, he got all the hair. I ain't want to have no ugly baby. I just knew that it was going to be a 50-50 chance that one of these kids was going to come out ugly because of him. Now look. Now I got to wait for his looks and shit to come in. One minute he look all handsome, and the other minute he look like fucking Alien versus Predator. He need to pick a side. He need to pick it quick. Got me walking around. That's your baby? Oh, bless his heart. Yeah, I know what that shit mean. I'm sorry. Your daddy marked you. You look like him. That's cool, though. We're just sitting in the front seat thugging at the water park watching his sister's name play. And she up here, too. Me in the air conditioner. Her fat ass. Girl, it's true, man. It's true. It's okay. He ain't gonna be ugly all his life. At least I hope not. Woo, Father God, in the name of Jesus. Let him grow up to be handsome. Cause right now I'm just he not feeling it. He looks just like you, boy. You finna get your ass blocked. He don't look shit like me. I'm not ugly, and I wasn't an ugly baby. He's funny looking. I don't want to call him ugly. I'm gonna just call him funny looking. Look at him. Oh my God. Your daddy need a whooping. He need his ass. Let me call your daddy. We about to call your daddy. Cause this right here, this shit don't make no sense. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You shouldn't have to go through this.
Hello?
Why the fuck do my son look so funny looking?
What you mean?
He funny looking. You ain't right.
What you mean? What the fuck?
You ain't right.
Bro.
I'm sorry.
What?
My son look like you, and he just not all that cute right now.
Oh, okay, well.
Oh, he just.
All right, y'all. That was the ugly baby video number 1. Now, I guess the young lady, again, I did have some still images that corresponded with the video, but Streamlabs OBS has a mind of its own sometimes. So, I'm really upset that the stills didn't go through like I wanted to, but I did have some examples actually from her Facebook channel where she just comes across as a regular ass hoochie who's actually trying to get notoriety and YouTube fame. She actually has a YouTube video where she was answering questions today under her name again, which is Quayla Ann. So if you Google Quayla Ann or YouTube Quayla Ann, Facebook Quayla Ann, she pops right up. Can't miss it. Guys, do you think that she was just kidding? Do you think that this is a CPS situation? It just makes me sad about the mentality, joke or no joke. I mean, DC Young Fly, if you know who he is a young comedian who really is over the top, cracks really silly over the top jokes. He's a kid from Atlanta. For a grown man, he's almost stupid. All right, let me go ahead and speak up a little. All right, make sure you can hear me better now. Yeah, she is using her babies, all 6 of her babies, for attention. So here's a girl with 6 babies who, according to her Facebook, has been a cook most of her life. I think she's like 23, 24 years old. All right, I'm reading the chat right now. Velvet Goth says she's just using her babies to get attention, willing to say anything for notoriety. Beloved Princess, welcome to the chat. Says, can you imagine the complex that poor kid is going to have? She doesn't believe that. Matter of fact, I'll let you listen to her own words.
I just came to a realization. Hopefully that's a word. Is that a word? Realization. Hey Siri, is realization a word?
An act of becoming full.
Look what I just came to a realization. Hopefully that's a word. Is that a word? Realization.
Hopefully that's a word.
Hey Siri, is realization a word?
An act of becoming fully aware of something as a fact. Do you want to hear the next one?
No. Like I was saying, I just came to a realization that I don't give a fuck. All these motherfucking negative ass comments, I don't care. Like, I tried to care, but I don't. Like, have you ever tried to care about some shit? Like, you tried to make yourself care, like, you need to care, but Yourself is just not giving a fuck. So I don't give a fuck about what none of y'all talking about at all. Period. All y'all saying, oh, she's a bad mother. Her son's gonna grow up. He's gonna see this. He's gonna hate her. No, sorry. Try again. Not a bad mother. And my son gonna grow up, and we both gonna laugh at this shit. Y'all reaching. Y'all doing too motherfucking much. When DC Young Fly was talking about Ava's ass, y'all wasn't getting on his ass. Y'all was laughing. But when I say my son funny looking, it's a problem. Y'all better go on the fuck on. I love my kid, regardless.
I don't deny the young lady loves her kids. Not saying that she doesn't, but I agree with beloved Princess that she needs to get her tubes tied. She needs to get them tied, clipped, burned, throw them in the trash. Bringing too many babies in the world with these ratchet mothers. I'm just gonna say it. Of course, any critique is just dismissed as negativity to be ignored. That's what Velvet God says. I wonder who raised her, beloved Princess says. Who raised you? Who raised you? Wow. I guess I want what's best for the kids. Maybe she is an excellent mother, and if those kids have clothes on their back and full bellies and a roof over their head, you know, if the three or four baby daddies that are there supporting them, then, you know, it's not my business. I can't be mad if she wants to be a YouTube celebrity, then more power to her. But I just wish she would use her talent, or whatever you want to call it, for better use, or I don't know, be a better influence for those 6 kids. SD says, wow, she's super fertile. Birth control, birth control. No duh. Velvet God says they're always the most fertile. Yeah. And they always seem to never be broke. And I work my ass off, and, you know, if I splurge too much, you know, I'd have to kind of maybe eat a sandwich instead of eating out on that last couple days of the month. But good Lord, these girls eat good, living off the system forever. I know some girls that have it set up where they have a baby every 4 or 5 years, so that way they can stay on what do you call that, child support, and stay in the system. They get WIC, they get food stamps, they get all kinds of assistance. So hey, as soon as they miss a month in food stamps, they're the first ones out there to riot. All right, moving to the third story tonight. Now, there was a family in Texas City, Texas, that the mother lives in a very nice neighborhood that has an HOA. If you don't know what that is, that's a homeowners association. You have to pay so much a month to almost like a club to live in the neighborhood. Well, she took her babies to the pool, and she wasn't there for 15 minutes before she was asked to leave. Here's the story.
Was it a case of safety or racial profiling? Tonight, one woman says she and her family were told to leave her community pool over the weekend. She says because they're black. But that homeowners association says that's not the reason they were asked to leave. Fox 26's Natasha Geigel has the story from Texas City.
Being asked to leave the pool, really for no reason at all.
On Saturday, Tramika Thomas says she, along with her 5 children and other family members, went to the community pool at the Lago Mar subdivision in Texas City. It was their first visit since purchasing a home here in April.
And upon letting us in, there were constant stares. They recorded my kids at some point, the lifeguards did. They started recording my kids on personal phones. And then eventually, while I was in the pool with my 2-year-old, I saw a Texas City police officer approach the scene, and he asked me to leave.
Thomas says she was never approached by the pool staff about why she was being kicked out and wasn't given any explanation. Fox 26 reached out to the Lago Mar Homeowners Association. Part of their statement reads, quote, on Saturday, a resident and her party were asked to leave the pool due to their unruly and unsafe behavior. After several polite requests to follow pool rules and to supervise their underage guests, the lifeguard on duty asked the resident to leave. This request was for the safety of their unsupervised children as well as other pool patrons. Thomas's social media posts about the incident has caused some outrage within the community, some residents claiming she was not following pool safety rules and deserved to be kicked out. Thomas and her family decided to take to the road outside of Lago Mar with signs, claiming the HOA racially profiled them. She says there's still an investigation underway by the HOA, but will protest with her family until they get justice.
I definitely feel like both lifeguards need to be terminated. They did racially profile us. They handled the situation totally inappropriately.
Natasha Geigel reporting, Fox 26 News.
I do what I can on my platform to share news like this, to make sure that the word gets out, because you don't see this on mainstream news very often. Matter of fact, if you do a Google search of Tamika Thomas or Texas City, Texas, or kicked out of pool, I want you to try Google searching that, and what's going to pop up is some white woman that got kicked out of the pool for breastfeeding. There's 100 stories carried by every news network about the white woman that got kicked out of the pool for breastfeeding. Only one story about Tamika Thomas. And I think that's messed up. So if I can use my platform to spread the news that you don't get to see, then definitely. And I want to give that, I want to give her and her family all the support that I can, and all the love, because this has got to stop. When they recorded her children, that was a bridge too far right there. You leave the children out of it, but to break out their cell phones and start taking pictures of black children with their bathing suits on at that, come on, man. That's the most class you have? SD says, if they stand behind the family being kicked out, show the recordings, otherwise I call bullshit. Well, you call blankety blank. I call bullshit. And that brings me to our news break. And instead of music tonight, I'd rather share a little wisdom, but not from myself, but from someone a lot wiser than me. Those of us that have sons, those of us who travel, especially at night, male or female, always have that fear of blue ISIS pulling us over, harassing us, pulling us out of our cars, searching us, asking us where we're going, where we've been. And we're sick of it, but we're always backed into a corner and always asking, what can we do about it? What can we teach our kids, right? Keep your hands on the steering wheel. Look straight ahead. Give them what they ask for. But you got one with their gun, hand on their hip, on their gun, on one side saying don't reach for anything. You got the one on the left saying reach for your ID. What do you do? Which one do you listen to? If you don't give them the ID, they're going to drag you out of the car. If you reach for it, they're going to blow your head off. Like I say, I go to wiser counsel than myself. So here's some brief words from Brother Khalid Muhammad, God rest his soul, and he's going to give the best advice I've found as far as how to deal with these racist ass evil police. Shout out to all my auditors out there as well. There's some First Amendment auditors out there. Now I'm not an auditor myself, but I'm very close to the community and have some friends that I've recently met. So shout out to them and their channels. If they're listening right now, please let me know so I can give you a channel shout out. All right, here's some wise words from Khalid Muhammad, and when I come back, we're going to cover some more news stories of the week.
The Washington Post reports NASA has confirmed a so-called city killer asteroid narrowly missed hitting Earth.
Was it a case of safety or racial profiling? Tonight,
I just came to a real.
Sorry about that. All right, let me try to cue up that video real quick of Khalid Muhammad. Again, Streamlabs OBS has a mind of its own. But give me one moment and I'll get this worked out for you. Appreciate your patience while I work out these technical issues.
In fact, you got to know what to do if you are stopped or arrested by these devils.
That's right.
You can't run off at the mouth when the devil gets you.
That's right.
You shut your mouth.
That's right.
You're a soldier.
That's right.
We're at war.
Right.
We are a captured nation.
Right.
We have been held in captivity for 400 years in fulfillment of the prophecy of the Bible that we would be in this condition. Genesis the 15th chapter, the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th verse. And when you are captured by your enemy, behind enemy lines, you only give name, rank, and serial. What do you give? Name, rank, and serial. That's your driver's license at best. If you ain't got that, that's your dog tag. If you don't have that, it's your ID card. Your New York ID card. Your Jersey ID card. That's your name, rank, and serial. Well, what about so-and-so? We're going to kill you, buddy. We're going to put you away, buddy, for life. You're really facing something serious here, guy. And they turn the lights on you, jump. Let me have your wild sergeant. You don't say nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Say, I'd like to see my attorney.
That's right.
So we're going to lock you up and keep you there. We're not going to feed you. We're not going to give you no phone call. We're not going to do nothing. You say, come on with it.
That's right. That's right.
Lock me up.
That's right.
I'm not making no statement on tape. I'm not making no statement on video. I'm not signing a goddamn nothing. What did I say? Goddamn. But once you sign it, God has damned you.
That's right.
It's condemned.
That's right.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
When you are stopped, when the devil approaches you and puts them with funny sirens they got in the as soon as you hear that thing and see the light, if it's night, you drive it or whatever, if you can turn your light on in your car before they get out, you turn the light on in your car. Let them see inside of your car. That means you got to be clean. You can't have nothing in your car you don't want them to see. All right? Put your hands on the steering wheel so the beast can see your hands. When he approaches, they're nervous. They're scared of you. Because they know that the day is coming when you're going to wake up. They know the day is coming when you're going to do what you're supposed to do. They thought Central Park was that. They thought that we had organized pipe squads already and was taking them out one by one with the pipe squad. Well, there will come a time when the pipe squad will rise. Huh? All kind of squads are going to rise. Yes. We're going to make up for what has been done. By God's command, not by mine. Nobody will stand and give you orders. You'll have orders coming from a commander inside of you. And you'll know when to move and you'll know what to do. And you'll kill everything white that ain't right that's in sight. Yes, you will. That day is coming. Put your hands in clear view. The devil is nervous. Normally they pull their guns. But they're scared of you. Normally they come with many troops. Sometimes they call for backup before they even stop. They won't get out. But they're scared of you. You say, all right, see your driver's license. You got to handle this is a savage. This is a savage. So you got to say to him, sir, my driver's license or in my coat pocket, or in my jacket pocket, or my driver's license are in my hip pocket, my back pocket. My driver's license are in the glove compartment. May I get it, sir? That ain't no punk. That's a soldier talking to another soldier behind enemy lines, and for the time being, the enemy soldier has the upper hand. Has the upper hand at the time. And so you say it's in the glove compartment. I'll have to reach in the glove compartment and get it. I have no weapons in the glove compartment. And you slowly reach to open the glove compartment. You open the glove compartment. He's still scared. I will have to reach in the glove compartment to get my identification and the registration. There is no weapon, I remind you, in the glove compartment. Would you shine your light in the glove compartment before I reach in the glove compartment? The devil shines his light. You reach in slowly. Take it out. Get your license. Name, rank, and serial number. You give it to him. We have reason to suspect that you've been involved in a rape in Central Park. We have reason to believe that you so-and-so, so-and-so, and such and such. Don't you start talking.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You don't say nothing.
That's right.
Because when he reads you Miranda, is that what they call it?
Yes, sir.
You had a right to remain silent, buddy. Anything you say might be held against you in the court of law. That cracker, and anything you don't say might be held against you. So you know anything you say is going to be held against you. You don't say no information on nothing. Where you coming from? Sir, am I under arrest? Ma'am, am I under arrest? Where you going? Am I under arrest? If they say no, you say, sir, if I'm not under arrest, I'm not under obligation to answer any questions from you. I'd like to have my identification. I'd like to have my identification and be on my way. If he says you're under arrest, you say, sir, what is the charge? You're charged with so-and-so and such and such. You want to talk about it, buddy? I'd like to see my attorney. If you're a minor, you say, I want to see my parents and my attorney. That's right. Period. You keep saying that over and over and over. They'll try you every way they can. You tell them nothing. I'm telling you.
Go ahead, teacher.
I'm not telling you to go out and beat white women in the head with pipes, but if you beat them in the head with the pipe, don't say nothing.
Go ahead.
If you kill them and leave them dead in the park, I'm not telling you to go and kill them and leave them dead in the park, but it's no more than what they've done to us. And if you kill them and leave them in the park, don't say nothing. Don't give up no information. Nothing. Then when they do their report, they'll do what they call creative report. Right? They start lying on you. But don't you give them nothing that they can use against you. Why am I doing this? I want to cover this and cover this war back and forth between the two because somebody has to talk to you on this. Somebody trains them on how to come after you. Somebody got to train you on how to deal with them when they come. You may not be at war, but you definitely in war. You just the only one ain't fighting. Your enemy is fighting you every day and every way. He wants to take as many young men off the streets as he can.
All right, everybody, that was a little food for thought from Dr. Reverend, or at least before he became a Muslim, Khalid Muhammad. He was killed, I want to say around 99 or 2000, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But he was very influential to me as a young man, especially when he got kicked out of the Nation of Islam. And I hate to see the division that came between him and Farrakhan. He eventually went back to the Black Panthers. The Nation of Islam denounced Brother Khaled and basically blackballed him. Even the United States Congress censured Dr. Muhammad and threatened to censure the Nation of Islam, but again, Farrakhan covered his ass. And some say that he even had a hand in Brother Khaled's murder, which I don't want to believe that, because Farrakhan is one of the strongest speakers we have, being strictly apolitical. You know, he doesn't really lean right or left. He leans family. He leans, towards the strength of man and woman being together and building a nation. And I'm not mad at that. That's the kind of message our people need. But some of his methods, some of his rhetoric, I don't totally agree with. So, in all honesty, I can't just agree with everything he says. May Allah rest Brother Muhammad's soul. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Assalamu alaikum. Alright, moving to the second half. I did promise to open up the phone lines, and the phone lines are now open. The number to call, if you'd like to call in, is 605-313-5384, extension 165287. So Jenny, if you'd like to call in, or if you'd like to have your kid call in, go ahead and dial that number. 605-313-5384, extension 165287. Then we'll do that before I start the second half of the show. And this is a conference line, so I can take more than one call at a time. So if anyone would like to call in, state their opinion, state some facts, just promote their own channels, which Sean from the Shy has her own channel, so if you get a chance, check her out. Beloved Princess is one of my ride or die from another channel. I believe everybody just about here either came from another channel or came here from the Cat Williams video. Either way, I'm glad to have you all here tonight. And if you get a chance, share the video with other like-minded people, so that way we can get the message out and everybody knows that they have a channel they can call home, where there's not a lot of drama, no beef. Every now and then we do have hot topics and debates and discussions, like we did with Monique the other night. We had about 30 people, I think, at one point. No, man, been close to 40 at one point that participated in a Monique discussion. That was a lot of fun. But I do like to discuss deeper things than just pop culture and actors and that sort of thing. All right, SD says, I agree with understanding your rights and waiting until you have legal representation before answering anything. But as a pacifier, I don't condone nor I understand the message being volatile. I understand where you're coming from, and blessed are the peacemakers. We need more. God knows we need more peacemakers. But being peaceful in this instance has not been saving our lives. If you notice, or if you go to Auditing America, or if you go to any of the First Amendment auditing channels, you'll notice that these guys are getting right up in the cop's face now, and they're not playing around. A lot of these guys are either armed or know their rights to the point to where they just step on that line. And every now and then they do step across, and they may get an obstruction of justice charge or trespassing, that sort of thing. But it's rare, because these guys step out there with their cameras now, and when they go 2 or 3 deep, that's 3 cameras as opposed to their one body cam to tell one story. And then you can do what's called a FOIA request, And I recommend anybody that's been in as much as a traffic accident and needed evidence and didn't have witnesses, do a FOIA request. It's a FOI, that's a federal request to be able to, Freedom of Information Act is what it stands for. And you can get access to those cameras that they say that you can't have access to. You slip and fall in Walmart. Well, can I see the camera? Oh, no, you can't see the camera. You do a FOIA request, they'll release it. So, that's part of knowing your rights as well. But you see these guys, they don't walk in fear. Because walking in fear is what's given the police so much power. But, like Brother Khaled was saying, you don't have to be ugly. But you can know your rights. Yes, sir. No, sir. Here's my ID, sir. What crime do you suspect me of committing? What traffic violation did I violate? At least have the right to ask and stand your ground. They should treat you like a human being. Fuck that thin blue line and giving their brothers a pass. They should treat us all equally. And I feel like bad cops should arrest bad cops as well. So, like I say, cops aren't high up on my list of likable people right now. And that's because of the way I've been treated by them and the way they treat people I know. Velvet Goth says, I think it's almost impossible to be black and a pacifier. They killed MLK and Malcolm. And who was it that said that to be black is to be in a constant state of anger? Who said that? Let me do my research. It's to be in a constant state of rage, actually. That was James Baldwin who said that. And I believe it. But again, I want you guys to call in. The number is 605-313-5384. I know Jenny said you wanted to call in, so call in. No need to be shy. Or if you want to be anonymous, that's fine too, because this is a conference line as opposed to my personal caller ID, so I really won't see where you're calling from. So if you choose to be anonymous, that's fine too. I'm not going to kick you off or hang up on you as long as you've got something to say. And if nobody calls in, we'll move to the second half of the news. I know somebody out there is like, I really want to call in, but I'm just not sure. Go ahead and call 605-313-5384. I promise I won't curse you out. And if you're nervous, that's okay too. There's only 11 people watching, so in the grand scheme of things, you don't have anything to worry about. And I know that Velvet Goss and I have some disagreements, maybe a misunderstanding on a couple of my videos. She saw my Gillette video and commented that I may not be sensitive to the LGBT, and then asked the question in one of my other videos that I have a problem with atheists. So like I said, I'm willing to answer those questions too. I can walk and chew gum at the same time. So let's say I love speaking to deep, high vibration people, because that's how I learn as well. Iron sharpens iron, I believe. Velvet God says, I don't advocate violence in the least, but I will fight at some point. Yeah, I don't blame you. You have to. I say it becomes survival of the fittest at some point. And it always seems like we're always the one being stomped down. We were always the strongest warriors, but when the gun came out, we couldn't fight that. But as warriors with warrior DNA, our men can't be stopped. I mean, you look at athletics nowadays, you look at even in the Army now, there's a lot of black NCOs, a lot of black Rangers, a lot of black Special Forces, more than there used to be, only because now they have the opportunity. But they've been running circles around their white counterparts for years and haven't been prior military. I'm a witness of that. Velvet God says, I'm used to being in the minority on religious issues in the black community. Most people are when they become conscious. Alright, PSD says my uncle was close to Stokely Carmichael and was even tried by the U.S. government after meeting Castro in Cuba. There's a lot of people that were watching back then, all the way from Stokely Carmichael to Eartha Kitt, even Lucille Ball and Ricky Ricardo. They were all being watched by the government back then because they were considered pinkos. Huh. A history lesson there. All right, if nobody wants to call in, then I'll go ahead and move on to the next topic of the night. And that's that asteroid that almost hit Earth. This thing was a big chunk of rock that they say could have wiped out an entire city. Even though NASA says they're watching at least 90% of the asteroids that could hit Earth, there's a whole nother 10% of all shapes and sizes that they can't, which to me lets them know that God is always in control. But let's let the news tell it.
The Washington Post reports NASA has confirmed a so-called city killer asteroid narrowly missed hitting Earth. What's more alarming, scientists say they had no idea it was coming.
That is alarming. They're supposed to know.
Whoops. The asteroid, about the size of a huge boulder, was about 45,000 miles from Earth on Thursday. The asteroid came from the direction of the sun and was only visible just a few days ago. Scientists say it posed no immediate threat.
Whoa.
I don't know about
city?
that.
What city? Any city. Any city. Any city.
I don't know about y'all, but that's some scary shit. This thing came within 44,000 miles. Now, if you see the diagram up on the screen right now, that's how far the moon is. And in between that is how close that asteroid came. That can wipe out an entire city. So, you know, no matter how many satellites they launch, no matter how many telescopes they have, they still don't see that shit coming. So I don't have a lot of trust in NASA or any of them, to be honest, because there's somebody a whole lot more powerful than them. But it's the white man's mentality in a way. Just like the Titanic could never sink. You know, everything they do is perfect and it's right in every way. No, nigga, you can't ride. And they had us out there trying to save them when they were sinking. All right, just checking in with the chat real quick. All right, let's see. Area code isn't in my phone rate plan. I really wish I could call in right now, but I can't. It should be toll free. Well, I thought it would be. Sorry that it's not. Like I said, it's not my personal number. I actually use a service called freeconferencecall.com. And it shouldn't be a charge related with the call. It's a free conference call. Again, the number 605-313-5384. And if you're able, please call in. Like I said, I don't bite. Private Iris, welcome back to the chat. Fire from the sky, Revelations. Revelations is deep. Revelations is the one book in the Bible that says once you read this, you remember this. And anybody that you talk to about it, you tell them to remember. Because everything that is to come happens there. There's hints and everything in earlier books, you know, but Revelations is one of my favorite books of the Bible. All right, I think we may have someone on the line. Let me check. All right, who do we have on the line this evening? Hello? Hey, let me make sure I can get you on the mic here. All right, I can hear you. Who do we have on the line?
My name's Justin.
Hey, Justin, this is Sly Jones. Welcome to the chat. And anything that you'd like to add, anything that you'd like to talk about tonight, go for it. You got the platform, brother.
I understand that, but yes, I do. I do have a story. Um, Nobody like is really receptive to it, but I mean, it did happen. Like I mean, I don't know like how to explain it any more than how I have, and it's never been like receptive to anybody. But it did happen. Like
Well, I want to tell you
aliens.
this, man. Uh, we have an open mind here on my channel, and I don't ever want you to feel like you're ostracized or don't have a place where you can fully express yourself honestly. So this isn't that kind of place. So please share your story with the crowd and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. Um, 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 I, I I was abducted, and I mean, I don't know how to say it. You know, like
Well, let's start with this. How long ago did this happen?
3 years ago.
All right, 3 years ago. And do you remember where you were when it happened? Did you see lights? Were you in the wilderness? Were you in the city? Were you sleeping?
No, my wife and I, my wife and I, we were camping, and um, my wife and I were camping, and it happened.
Do you remember what the? I guess when you say abduction, I would assume aliens.
I mean, I think, I get, I mean, I, I don't, I mean, when you're a part of something like this, like, it's kind of hard, but, like, you know, you only have, like, what, um, was explained to you, and so I don't know, like, I think from everything from movies and things like that, yeah, I would say that I was abducted, but I mean, who knows, you know?
But you know, only you know what you went through and what you experienced, and it obviously left you feeling a certain way. So tell me what you remember about the incident.
Okay, all right. So like I said, I was with my wife. We were we were camping, and I remember being like with my wife, and then all of a sudden, just like I don't know, like pulled up, sucked up, or anything, but I was not with my wife anymore, and I remember like this immense light. Like the light was just, I mean, almost to the point that you could, it would like start, like you could light your cigarette on this light. Like the light was that immense. It was just absolutely ridiculous. And then this guy, well, I say guy, but he wasn't a guy, but he looked at me like like he could talk to me, you know, and um, and he knew he couldn't talk to me, but that didn't stop him, right? And he looked at me and he said something. I don't know what he said because like I I mean it was I don't think it was any language on planet Earth, but he said it to me and almost like mocking me, like you know, like I'm gonna say it anyway, but it was very
Almost,
disrespectful.
almost
Even
like insulting your intelligence, almost sarcastic.
absolutely, absolutely, like he said it knowing, you know, that this little fucking Earthling ain't gonna get it anyway. So I'm just here it is.
Well, let me
And
ask you this then. Do you think it was a message of peace? Do you think it was a message of destruction?
No. Like there was nothing peaceful about any of this. Any of this. Any of it.
So you feel like it was more of a
No.
warning?
Listen, man. If I held you hostage and then I started talking to you in a language you don't know, just to kind of rub it in your face that you have no idea what I'm talking about, yeah, that's pretty hostile to me.
Well, I'm sorry that you had to go through that, but at the same time, this may be a gift because you may have been shown something that none of us will ever see. So that's why I don't dismiss it. I don't laugh at it. You know, there are certain phenomena that happen over and over to people all over the world that can't be explained. And one I want to talk about real quick here, and again, I'm not dismissing what you're saying at all, but I had a discussion with a good friend of mine the other week about what we call in the South a witch ride, or the witch is riding your back.
What?
Or my white friends call it the hag. It's when you go to sleep at night and you wake up, everything around you is normal, but you see this thing coming at you, almost like a ghost or a witch or this black figure that comes at you. You can't scream, you can't move. It's coming closer. You feel the cold, and right before she touches you, you wake up. And everything in the room is in the same place it was. Everything looks normal, but then she's gone. And this phenomenon has happened to millions of people all over the world who don't believe in witchcraft, don't believe in sorcery. But what happens, happens. And if you've been abducted, you don't have to believe in aliens to what happened, happened. So there's phenomenon that happen to people that can't be explained. I'm a witness of it. That's why I say I don't dismiss what you're saying at all. I appreciate you sharing your story. I hope you get closure. I hope they don't come back. But
Can I explain the story?
Sure, go for it.
And it's almost comical too, but I'll tell the full story. The night that I'm talking about, the very next, well, I say day, but you know, when I came back, right? I was it's me, my wife, and we have 2 dogs. All right, a shepherd at that point was probably like 3 or 4 months old. Right.
Right.
All right. It was we're everyone dead asleep. Right. This dog screamed like a human. I swear, man, I've never heard a dog scream. He screamed. Have you ever heard a dog scream?
No, I've never heard a dog scream before.
Yeah.
That would chill my blood.
Amen. The night after, he screamed his ass off. And then I looked at him, because obviously that wakes somebody up. We looked at him, and he looked at us like, what? You know, like nothing happened in his world. And he's just like, I'm going back to bed, but I don't give a shit what y'all doing. I'm going to bed. All right?
Right.
That was that night. The next night, I had a nightmare that woke me up. I'm screaming, I'm fighting. I am fighting. And I wake up, no, fuck you, no. And this same fucking dog that screamed his ass off looks back at me like, man, you gonna
teach a lesson? Was there a story in that for you? I mean, a lesson in that for you, or anything that you took from that, or
Yeah. My dude, this is my boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, my father was my best man at my wedding, and although we cut his nuts off and he can't get married, I would hope that I'm his best man. You know?
Right.
And real talk, like, I think this little fucker, like, he knows a lot more than people want to give credit to.
Yeah. All right, and what's your name again, brother?
Justin.
Justin. All right, everybody. This is Justin on the line again. I'm taking calls as part of the Saturday Night Special and call-in show.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to take up all that time.
No. You're not taking up my time at all. I'm here for you, brother, and I'm just giving everybody a reminder who may be new to the chat, just to touch base with everything we talked about real quick. So just stay on the line. Tonight we discussed a 10-year-old kid who got charged playing dodgeball for hurting another child. They did drop the charges this week, but the kid is still distraught, and I'm hoping the family seeks counseling. Second story we talked about tonight was a young lady who called her own baby ugly, who actually has 6 kids of her own, and is trying to go viral with her social media career. The third story we talked about was a young lady in Texas by the name of Tamika who was kicked out of a local pool after being there for only 15 minutes with her friends. With her kids, and were kicked out for quote unquote not following the rules. I really feel like that was racially motivated, and would like to shout out all the support I can to Tamika Thomas and her family. We also talked about the near miss asteroid that almost hit Earth. Now, we do have a couple more news articles to discuss, plus my feel-good story of the week. But right now, we do have Josh on the line that's telling us his story about his encounter with extraterrestrials, possibly. And go ahead. Sorry to cut you off, man. I just had to give everybody a quick reminder here.
No. I mean, I think you said it pretty much all, right? Like, or I did, or something.
Well, man, I'm really glad that you called to express yourself. Again, this is a channel that everybody can call and feel at home, no matter what you're going through, no matter what you want to discuss. And again, your story is very unique.
I'm sorry. I will say this though, like the iconic image, of like the whole oval head and the big eyes and the small mouth and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That is not what I saw. That's not true at all.
Well, tell us what the aliens that abducted you look like.
I'll be honest with you, man. Like, they honestly look a lot more like us than all these iconic figures that we try to make them out to be. In fact, like, I can't even think of his name.
Let me ask you this: do you think they were reptilian?
Reptilian? What is that?
A lot of people have been abducted. A lot of people who believe that there's a shadow government believe that the higher ups, who we call the Illuminati, are actually a reptilian race who aren't actually human, who are trying to take over the earth. I've only heard that through science fiction. I've heard it through theories. I've heard it through people's abduction stories. So like I said, I don't rule it out. It's just another theory that's out there that exists. And I was just asking if you might have thought that was tied in.
I still don't get your question though. Like, you say reptilian, but I mean, how would I know if I don't know what I'm looking for?
I wouldn't know what I was looking for either. It's not even the kind of thing that I look deep enough into. I've only heard theories, and I would ask you to seek out a mind that's a lot more knowledgeable in that field than I am. I'm just here to open up the discussion and hope that there's people in the chat that may be a lot more savvy than me that can give input. Speaking of the chat, Private Iris says there's something else going on. If you're having incidents and not referring to mental illness either, tell these stories can make people think you're going crazy. So, in all fairness, this is what a normal thinking person, how they would respond. So, again, that's not to be insulting or anything like that, but you have to make it believable. You have to, nowadays, and without video evidence or audio evidence, were you able to get any pictures or anything to back up your story, or anything like that?
No. I mean, I thought at least that I was unconscious, and no, I mean, I didn't have my phone or anything like that. But like I said, when I went up, and it's more humanistic than you would think. And you mentioned I don't know anything about reptilians and anything like that, but I'm telling you, man, like I was scared to death, and I thought E.T. was gonna be up there and all that. No. They were much closer to us than almost to the point to where it takes some of the fear away. You know what I mean? Like I was just like, okay, well, you're us. So.
Well, let me ask you this question, and as a person who believes in Yahweh Elohim, I believe He has messengers, and that He uses what people call angels, and has used those higher beings to spread messages to mankind since the beginning of time. Do you think that you may have encountered a heavenly or angelic being? Because they've been known to speak in a different language as well, but they've been known to look like humans.
Well, no, I mean, as far as the message that I talked to him, there was no message other than, I mean, it was really fucking weird, but it wasn't a different language or anything like that. I mean, I speak three myself, and this was completely just English,
Oh, okay. 'Cause I thought in the beginning you said they were speaking and you didn't understand.
No, I understood him.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, again, I want to thank you for sharing your message, and I'll offer you the opportunity for an interview. So hit me up at therealslyjones@gmail.com. That's my direct email address. I check it every day, and I'm more than happy to. Once you are able to gather all your thoughts, I want you to take notes, remember as much as you can about the incident, and I'll dedicate a whole video to you, and we'll talk about your experience. How does that sound?
Okay.
If you want your wife to be there too, again, you can have her there, and you can both share your experience, and I'll just give you a full interview. And again, I'll weigh the pros and the cons, and I will ask the questions that people want to know. And
well, I mean, my wife wasn't, she was still here. This wasn't her thing. I was pulled up, not her.
Oh, okay, understood. Well, again, we'll I want to keep some meat on the bone for the interview, but we're gonna go ahead and continue the show. So I'm gonna end the call here. But again, I appreciate you calling. Hit up my email, and if you want to call in before the end of the show, or you want to call in on the conference, feel free to call back.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot, brother. You take care. All right, everybody. That was Joshua. Ear Hustler, welcome to the chat. Charles Smith, welcome to the chat. Love to see new faces. Again, Private Iris, welcome. Thank you for moderating tonight. Lady T, welcome. Ooh, let me turn on that background music. Ooh, it's horrible. Elevator music. And there were some good points brought up in the chat earlier about sleep paralysis and the hag. And I'm glad that you did bring up that point because science does explain those phenomena as sleep paralysis or people with narcolepsy, sleep apnea. They may be hallucinating, which causes them to see everything in the room to be the same. But that same image of that witch coming to get you, again, that crosses cultures and it's a little bit eerie. But again, it could be a very good explanation for the phenomena. So, keep an open mind. All right, I'm just checking through the chat again. SD says, I think it's egotistical for us to think that we are the only beings, just as people claim cults don't exist. I mean, science evolves. It does. People learn and grow with each new experience. Charles said, I had an encounter with the Lord Jesus Christ. Well, Charles, the phone line is open. If you'd like to call and talk about it, before we move to the next topic of the evening, please feel free. If you just want to testify, it's 605 313 5384 165 287. And about dismissing quote unquote crazy stories. Just so happened this morning I had to wash clothes, right? So I ran into like a 8-hour live chat. I ran into an 8-hour live stream. I'm gonna leave the guys link to his channel. The brother went from like 200 subs this morning. He had an auditing video where he didn't allow the CPS workers to come in his house and take his granddaughter. A bigger vlogger took on his video and showed it. My brother has 944 subscribers. So I want anybody that listens to this video to check out American Justice James Musa. That's the name of his channel. I'll leave a link in the chat. I do support all of my fellow YouTubers, so if anybody has a YouTube channel, please leave a shout out. I don't have rules like that in my channel where you can't shout out other channels, so if you want to shout out somebody, please do it. By the way, anybody that has a blue wrench is most likely a YouTuber, except for Lady T. But Private Iris is definitely a YouTuber. You can subscribe to her channel. Click on that link below. Now, American Justice. Again, speaking of odd stories, has several paranormal experience stories. And the brother lives right outside a graveyard. When you look out his window, you see nothing but tombstones. And he has several paranormal stories to tell. And again, his channel just blew up because of his auditing. But if you want to hear some scary ass ghost stories, subscribe to American Justice James Musa. Again, good luck on your channel, brother, if you see this video. And I wish you nothing but the best. SD says not to discredit, but people that have possibly experienced something traumatic often turn to alcohol, drugs, and blackout said experience and while trying to recall the facts are muddled. Not saying I believe or disbelieve anyone's stories or theories, but contradictions aren't rare. Like with crime victims, misremembering happens. That's true, SD, and I'm glad you brought that point up. You know, like I say, my mind is open, but you know, nowadays you gotta have evidence. You gotta show me. And if that young man reaches back out to me, I'd be more than happy to do the interview, and you will see it on the channel. So subscribe and hit that notification button if you're interested. And go ahead and call in. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. Again, the number tonight is 605-313-5384. Again, that's 605-313-5384. 5384. It'll be faster if you program it in your phone under Slide Jones. The access code is 165287. So that way you'll be ready and able to dial in whenever the lines are open. I also believe that I did have someone earlier. Jenny wasn't able to call in because of the area code. I'm sorry about that, but again, shout out to Jenny for hanging out in the chat. Another new face, Velvet Goss. SD did have Ricky Ricardo in the chat. Welcome. Sean from the Shah, shout out. Matter of fact, Sean, don't you have a YouTube channel as well? If you're still here, shout out your channel and leave a link for me so that everybody can check you out. Well, it says no content now, but I thought you had some videos at one point. Well, anyway, we're going to go ahead. If nobody calls in, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic of the night. Now, the next story, I don't have a video for, but this story was dropped by the New York Times by an author by the name of Neil Vigdor, Vigdor, and I give him all credit for this story. Yeah, SD, this show will be weekly from now on. I've been slipping on the channel due to personal life issues, but things are looking up now, and I'll finally be able to make the time to make this happen every week. Oh wow, Private Iris says that her book is about supernatural incidents explained once I search for the truth of the Creator and not only the world's view. It's been my long-held belief, Iris, that we had gifts that our ancestors gave us way before we had these messed up diets and we had this messed up lifestyle, this messed up miseducation, this subjugation. We lost our gifts. We lost our gifts to interpret dreams. We lost our spirit energy to be able to connect with our ancestors and be able to learn those lessons and pass them on generation to generation. Some people call it voodoo or spookism. But the same people that gave us Jesus gave us nigga. So how much can I trust in that? So again, my mind is open to a lot of different ways of thinking. That's why I like vibrating with high frequency vibrators. People who look at all sides of the spectrum, not just one way of seeing things and being so rigid that they get angry over having a different point of view. We're not about all that here. Everybody can express their different opinion and not feel like they're going to get their heads chopped off. All right, the phone lines are still open if you'd like to call in. Hey, Iris, if you want to call in, feel free. Ski Love says there's just too many coincidences. Welcome to the chat, Ski Love. Glad to have you here this evening. The next topic on my heart, again, I don't have pictures for it, is about the, here we go. Georgia Elementary School is accused of racial insensitivity over hairstyle guidelines. Now, at Narve J. Harris Theme School in Decatur, they had a display of young black men with like box fades with parts and naturals. And they were criticized for being racially insensitive. Now, I thought this happened at a white school, right? I just so happened to Google Narve J. Harris Theme School before I started this video. The principal is black. The vice principal, black. The third principal over pre-K and second grade, black as hell. as much as I wanted to blame and be angry at white people, I found out that Narve J. Harris Theme School in Decatur, Georgia, is 95% black, according to the Governor's Office of Student Achievement. Now, the display went viral after Danae Wadlington, the owner of a beauty parlor in the nearby city of Duluth, posted a photograph of it on Facebook after her client, whose child goes to the school, gave it to her. The woman did not want to be identified. Now, how much do we talk about self-hate? How many times do we hear the militant Negroes hollering about how much and how badly we need schools of our own, communities of our own, teaching our own, so that we can undo what's been done with the Christopher Columbus, George Washington never told a lie bullshit, and teach them about George Washington Carver and Marcus Garvey and our black heroes, Nat Turner, Toussaint Louverture, Stokely Carmichael. See, they know if our kids knew the truth about their heroes, they should look up to as heroes, they'd be proud, maybe even a little bit arrogant, because they know that they deserve the crown. But here we go with a squandered opportunity. A school in Atlanta, 95% black, with almost 100% black faculty, telling them that their natural haircuts and them expressing themselves with their hair is off limits. Again, I would expect this from the colonizer, not from a school with black principals. But then again, maybe those hairstyles are too far out of place. Again, this is the name of the school is the name of this. Again, this was a article from the New York Times that calls out Narvie, Narvie, J. Harris Theme School in Decatur, Georgia. So where are you guys at in the debate? I have dreads. I've been growing my hair out for 2 years, so it's obvious how I feel about this. But do you think the kids should not be as expressive, second grade, third grade, with twists and box cuts and, doing a little spongy thing now? I thought as long as the kids were clean and well groomed, that's all that mattered. But what are your thoughts on this? If you'd like to, the call-in line is still open. Please feel free to call in and discuss the topics of the night, or if you've been abducted by aliens, tell your story. The number is 605-313-5384, extension 165287. Surprise me. Surprise the people. Call in. I know you got your finger on the button. You want to call in. Somebody out there wants to call in. I know you do. Don't be scared. Show's coming up on 90 minutes. I really appreciate everybody that stuck around and stopped by and is chimed in the chat. SD says, looking forward to next week. Got to finish up a task. Night, everyone. Great show. Glad things are looking up. Private Iris, I hope you call in next week and promote your outlook and book. Private Iris, you are more than welcome to call into the show. And let's discuss some of what we may have discussed last week. You can introduce yourself to the craft and invite people to come over to your channel. That's more than inbounds here. Dice TV, welcome to the chat. Rational Thinker here tuned in. Glad for that. I always like rational thinkers. Always trying to vibrate at that higher frequency. And if you have a channel or a channel you'd like to promote, Dice TV, you got 854. I'm happy to be 855. I just subscribed to your channel as we speak. Again, I show love to anybody who shows love to the channel. So, again, if you haven't already, subscribe to Dice TV and check him out. Dice TV, if you do the same favor, you can share my channel and hit that notification button, or if you want to call in, you can. If anybody can get a hold of old Truth from Truth TV, tell him he's more than welcome to stop by as well. All right, Charles Smith said he'll call in and discuss his encounters when I come on again. So I'll come on again next week. We'll talk about all the topics that are hot next week that go viral, or things that affect us here in the black community, and have fun doing it. Everything doesn't have to be serious. We don't always have to argue and debate. Sometimes we can just sit back, chill, and just be people. And this is the place to do it. So I appreciate you stopping by, and I can't wait to hear your stories. All right, going to the next story tonight, I'm going to go ahead and move into my feel-good story of the week. Going to end on a positive note. And if anybody wants to call in, feel free. Ben the Coon Carson, got kicked off of Black Baltimore's church property. I do have the news story for this one. Hold right on. Give me 1 second.
President Trump has refused to back down from his attacks on Baltimore and Congressman Elijah Cummings.
And today, Cabinet Secretary and former Johns Hopkins neurosurgeon Dr. Ben Carson defended the president during a visit to our city.
WJZ investigator Mike Helgman is live in West Baltimore, where the news conference created even more controversy. Mike?
Vic and Denise, Dr. Carson wanted to show off some of the positive federal investment, including here at Holland's house. This is a senior apartment building. His team wanted to hold the press conference in this vacant lot. It belongs to a nearby church. They weren't having any of it. They said he was trespassing and hadn't asked permission.
There are problems, and we can't sweep them under the rug.
Housing and Urban Development Secretary Dr. Ben Carson got a chilly reception in Baltimore after trying to hold a press conference in a vacant lot belonging to Morning Star Baptist Church. The church told him he was trespassing.
You were set up on this property right here. It's a church. They said, get off of our property. You know, a church, when we're talking about helping the people, I mean, this is the level to which we have sunken as a society.
Dr. Carson's advance team cleaned up the lot. Gregory Evans, who's attended the church for more than 50 years, said they never asked permission.
He knew absolutely nothing about this church when he made that comment. They were actually cleaning up some of the things on the property. Why were they doing that? To make it look good for him. They weren't doing it for us. He's using it as a photo op to make it look like they're doing something.
I'm not one who likes to sit around and point fingers.
Carson's visit follows days of President Trump bashing the city as rodent-infested and unlivable.
People living in Baltimore are very happy that I'm bringing out the fact that it's like living in hell.
He's very willing to work with people here in Baltimore, including with Elijah Cummings.
Dr. Carson spent decades at Johns Hopkins Hospital, where he was a pediatric neurosurgeon. He said he often worried about sending his patients home.
East Baltimore and West Baltimore, where there were rats and roaches and mice and ticks.
Carson said he's been trying to get Mr. Trump to visit Baltimore.
At the right time, I'll visit.
City leaders say the president's comments are doing nothing to help.
Those comments are completely beneath the office of the President of the United States.
And this is some of the trash that advance team left behind before the press conference. Now, Congressman Elijah Cummings has been a target of President Trump. He was invited to the press conference here, but not until just a few hours before, and his schedule was already full. Live in West Baltimore, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
Uncle Ben. Ain't it though? Oh man, this guy was stooped to such levels. I just can't. Shout out to the church. What was the name of that church in Baltimore again? Let me look them up. Wow. Carson acknowledged that he was required to vacate the church grounds and complained on camera. Son of a bitch. Had the nerve to act like the church was wrong. First of all, it wasn't his property. And then there were stories that his people ran out there and cleaned it up real quick to make it look like they were trying to quote unquote help the community when they weren't doing anything but a photo op because they knew they were setting up everything for Ben Carson to stand there and talk that bullshit. I don't think Trump has any realistic chance of going to Baltimore to find out what's really going on. But I want to hear your guys' opinion. What do you think about it? Do you think that Trump has any genuine concerns about Baltimore? It's obvious to me he doesn't give a fuck, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm biased. And I never claim to have all the answers either. Say I'm usually enlightened by the opinions of the people in this chat. You know, sometimes the answers surprise me. And if there's any other subject that you'd like to talk about, anything that we talked about tonight, and I've noticed that spirituality comes up a lot in my chats as well. So if you guys would like to schedule a chat strictly about spirituality, where you're coming from, whether you believe in the Hebrew Israelites, Christian, Muslim, whether you walked away from the Christian church and are agnostic or atheist, or if you have a testimony, I want to hear about it. You know, I love having people from all different backgrounds, all different opinions come together, and this is how you learn, this is how you grow. And I love being enlightened by different people. So those of you that love truth, those of you that love to learn, again, you got a place to call home. And I look forward to catching up with you every week, maybe twice a week, but at least once a week. I believe in quality over quantity. Sometimes this OBS software does not cooperate the way it should, but I'm working on it. I'm getting a little bit better as the weeks go. I'm working on the audio issues. I've been able to upgrade my microphone and trying different things, but still I want to give you the best show I can. Private Irish says Trump doesn't have genuine concern for anyone. No, he doesn't. Even Jared Kushner got exposed for having dilapidated buildings in Baltimore, but if you're a billionaire connected to billionaires, shouldn't you have the money to fix dilapidated housing? You'd think they would. They own the best properties. Everything they have is the best, right? I call bullshit on that. Alright guys, again, before we close out, you can call in. Again, you can plug your own channel, plug your favorite channels. You can just call to talk or comment on tonight's episode. The call-in number is toll-free, 605-313-5384. The access code is 165287. Private Iris says, I love the truth, and we appreciate you here at the channel. And whenever you're ready to share your story about your book, again, the phone lines are always open, and we're more than happy to hear about it and support you. Like I say, if you have a Patreon, if you have a GoFundMe, you know, any kind of fundraiser, whatever you're trying to do to promote, again, I'm more than happy to use my platform. So, just keep us posted. In the meantime, I ask that you do share these videos. Let me see. They have a community tab now. And if you have the community tab, that's a great way to share videos. If not, Instagram is cool. My Instagram is at @TheRealSlyJones. Link me there if you share. Facebook, link me there if you share. If you have the community tab, I think you have to have so many subs now, but if you don't, still come to my community tab and leave a shout out. Let me know you stopped by. It's kind of like a wall, what do you call it, like a check-in, I guess, let people know that you stopped by. So that'll be cool too. So again, if you you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. It's moving up to about 12:22 p.m. 12:22 Eastern Time AM. So I'm going to stay on the line for just a few more minutes to answer a few questions in the chat. Or if somebody wants to call in, you can. Again, I appreciate each and everybody who stopped by, each and every person who stopped by tonight, and everybody who contributed to the chat. That was really awesome. Again, I learned something new from you guys every week. And if something pops off in the week, in the middle of the week, then I'll probably have a pop-up show in the middle of the week or a preview show. If not, count on me to be around either on Friday or Saturday nights, whatever my work schedule can handle. Again, if you go to the community tab on YouTube, you have access to my social media. You also have access to my Patreon account and to my super chat. So if you be so inclined, you can also show your appreciation in those ways as well. Alright, I always like to leave the chat with some positive vibes, of course. So I'm going to leave you with some words of wisdom tonight. Surround yourself with the dreamers and the doers, the believers and thinkers, but most of all, surround yourself with those who see greatness within you, even when you don't see it in yourself. Alright guys, I just want to send you all the love in the universe your way. Hope you have an awesome week. Again, please hit that notification so you don't miss the pop-up shows, and hopefully I'll be on either Friday or Saturday of next week to catch up on all the news of the week and some of the things that you say you want to discuss. I have had a few requests at therealslyjones@gmail.com, so any requests you have for the channel, please leave them there. I do listen at each and all, even criticism. If you have any criticisms, things we can do better, audio, video, whatever, please let me know. And I'll work to give you the best experience you can, because you're spending time with me. You could be doing other things, but the fact that you're spending this time with me, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Again, all the peace and love from the universe. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your wisdom. Hope to see you again real soon. Take care.